नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया. I am JVN Dr. Lily Trivedi, and today I am going to take the lecture of Faculty of Education and Methodology, BSc B.Ed ZBC, fourth semester, and the uh, course is Ecology, Anatomy, Ecology and Evolution. And the session is biogeochemical cycles of carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Now, what are biogeochemical cycles? Now, we have nutrients like carbon, nitrogen, sulfur, oxygen, hydrogen, phosphorus, etc. Now, they move in a circular path through the biotic and abiotic components and are therefore known as biogeochemical cycles. Now we have the four important biogeochemical cycle, that is the hydrological cycle, the phosphorus cycle, the carbon cycle, and the nitrogen cycle. So we are going to study three cycles over here, that is phosphorus cycle, nitrogen cycle, and carbon cycle. Let's take the phosphorus cycle. Now this is a sedimentary cycle with major reserves of phosphorus present in the sediments. Now here we can see that these are the phosphate rocks which are in which are present the fossils, the bones and the teeth. Now through mining we take the phosphorus out and use it in the form of fertilizers. Another form can be used as and it can be used by the plant protoplasm, and from the plant it will reach the animal protoplasm, or the plant can directly decay and death in the soil. So again, in the decay and death, the bones and the teeth will remain so and become as phosphate rocks. Now, phosphorus is present in human beings as in the bones and in the DNA, RNA in the form of proteins, etc. Now, what happens here? The phosphatizing bacteria convert some of the phosphorus back into dissolved phosphate form. Now this is taken up by the plants and we are adding phosphate fertilizer also. Now what happens here? These phosphate fertilizers run off, and as they run off, and what happens? They contaminate the water bodies. Some of it is lost to the deep marine sediments, other is taken up by the marine fish, and again there is a cycle, and others are there in the form of eutrophication. Now, eutrophication is the excess of nitrogen and phosphorus in the water body, which leads to algal bloom. Now, the fish is consumed by the seabirds, and the seabirds are excreting phosphorus in the form of guano-rich phosphorus deposit. So now we are back to the where we had started, in the form of phosphate rocks, because these phosphor deposits are later on converted into phosphate rocks. So this is phosphorus cycle. Now here what I have said is written, that it is used as fertilizers. Farmers use indiscriminate use of phosphate fertilizers, which results in the excess of as runoff, which causes eutrophication or overnourishment of lakes and to algal bloom. Now, a good amount of phosphate also reaches inside the ocean and is lost in the deep sediments. Now, we have a limited supply of phosphorus in the form of phosphate rock. Now, this is overexploited by man. So the human beings are making the phosphorus cycle acyclic. The seabirds play an important role. They eat the sea fishes, which are phosphorus rich, and the droppings and the excreta of the bird return the phosphorus on the land. For example, the guano deposits on the coast of Peru are very rich sources of phosphorus. Now come to the next cycle, that is the nitrogen cycle. Now it is a gaseous cycle with major reserve as nitrogen dioxide in the atmosphere, that is 78%. Now the circulation of nitrogen between living and soil is mediated by microorganisms which convert one group of nitrogen to another. So let's take, this is the atmosphere which has nitrogen in the form of NO2. Now through electrification, some of the nitrogen is converted to nitrates. Other is through biological nitrogen fixation, it is converted to nitrates. Now, as the bacteria present in the roots are absorbing the nitrogen. Now, what happens here? The nitrates is the soluble form for the absorption by the plant roots. Now, the acid rain also converts some of the phosphorus of the atmosphere down, falling on the plants. Now what happens here? The plants are being eaten by the animals, or the plants are themselves being dead and decay, and the plant protoplasm is decaying. Now the animals which have eaten the plants, they also have animal protoplasm, and they also die and decays there. The animals excrete urea and uric acid, that also contains nitrogen. Now these two forms are converting or into organic nitrogen, that is proteins and amino acids. Through the process of ammonification, it is converted into ammonia. The same ammonia we had also obtained through electrification. Now this ammonia, through the process of nitrification, is converted into nitrites, and which is further converted into nitrates, which is the form by which it is absorbed by plant roots. We also have industrial activities. We have volcanic eruptions, which releases nitrogen dioxide and trioxide, which again is present in the atmosphere and falls down on earth as acid rain, and on water bodies also as acid rain. Now what happens here? The plants in which the fertilizer are applied, now the excess of fertilizer is run off and comes in the water body. And the process of eutrophication and algal bloom takes place. Some of them are lost to the deep deposit. The others are present as shallow marine deposit. Some of the nitrates through the process of denitrification is again releasing nitrogen in the atmosphere. So this is a complete cycle of nitrogen dioxide. I hope you have understood, students. Now let's revise. As shown in the figure, now nitrogen is present in the form of nitrogen dioxide in very large amount, and it is fixed by the physical process of lightning, or by biologically by some bacteria, or even by some cyanobacteria, that is blue-green algae. Now the nitrogen is taken up by plants and used in metabolism for biosynthesis of amino acids, proteins, minerals, and this pass through the food chain. Now, after the death of plant and animals, the organic nitrogen in dead tissue is decomposed by ammonifying and nitrifying bacteria. Now, what did they do? They convert them back into ammonia, nitrates, and nitrites, which are again used by plants. Some of the bacteria convert nitrates into molecular nitrogen, or N2, which is released back in the atmosphere, and the cycle goes on and on. Now we come to the third cycle, that is the carbon cycle. So we have atmospheric carbon dioxide present through animal respiration and plant respiration. It is taken up by plants and animals. Now it is released by plants and animals. It is taken up by plants only by the process of photosynthesis. So plants and animal release carbon dioxide. Fossil fuel burning also releases carbon dioxide. Decomposition also releases carbon dioxide. Dead organic matter, that is organic carbon, through the microbial action also releases carbon dioxide. There is decomposition and carbon dioxide is released. Now carbon dioxide is directly fixed by direct absorption as carbonates and carbon oxide dioxide in water, and it is fixed by terrestrial plant through photosynthesis and by aquatic plants also through photosynthesis. So you can see the process. Respiration is the release of carbon dioxide and photosynthesis is the absorption of carbon dioxide. So this is about carbon cycle. So here you see, but what happens here? The human interferes with the normal cycling of the nutrients and creates imbalance. Now, as already said, carbon dioxide is taken up by green plants as raw material for photosynthesis, from which carbohydrate and other organic substances are produced. And through food chain, it is organic carbon is present, and ultimately from the dead matter, carbon dioxide released by microorganism. By through respiration, all organisms produce carbon dioxide. Now in recent years, burning of fossil fuels has caused a natural imbalance, and the world is facing serious problem of global warming because of this enhanced carbon dioxide emission. So I've taken my work from this reference. So students, I hope you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any query, please mention in the comment box. I will resolve it soon. This session was powered by digital version 2.0, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. Thank you and namaste.